PSY201SS6. Human memory, origin and basic processes. Introduction. Who are you? What are you like as a person? What kinds of life experience have you had? Only memories can provide you with the information you need to answer these questions. Considering the following, the focus of this study session is on human memory. In the process of discussion, we shall pay particular attention to the origins of the human memory and the processes involved. Learning outcomes. When you have studied this study session, you should be able to explain the central claims of the evolutionary theories of memory, discuss the process of encoding, storage and retrieval, and identify and discuss at least two system memory models. Memory evolution. Evolutionary theories hypothesize that memory, like learning, aroused as a response to environmental demands and serves as an adaptive mechanism. It allows the animal to retain information about its environment and thereby survive within the environment. Remember, the locations of food sources, the identity of a mate, and the association of certain stimulus with impending danger can be important to the survival of the species. It is for these reasons that evolution has favored those species that develop adequate memory functions. Memory exists because it is a useful mechanism that permits the animal to repeat helpful behavior and avoid repeating harmful behaviors. Evolutionaries state that each species used memory to adapt to its environment. Human memory has also evolved adaptively. One modern-day evolutionary result of this adaptive need may be the superior spatial location ability of females. It may have risen as an adaptation to the crucial role of women in gathering food and living materials during ancient times. Boss, 1995. What is memory? Memory refers to the retention of materials or information acquired in the course of learning and the ability to retrieve such information when required. Retention is the preservation of some aspects of experience across time, and retrieval is the reenactment or recapture of some aspects of past experience. Walker, 1995. In other words, retention is seen as the storage of learning over a period of time, called retention interval. That is, some length of time following acquisition. While retrieval is seen as getting the responses out of storage. Adebayo, 1995. Memory process. Encoding, storage, and retrieval. The information processing of the human memory is usually done through encoding, storage, and retrieval, which can be best instantiated in the following ways. Assuming you were asked to memorize the following numbers: 202, 523 to 3598. Having completed the task of memorizing the number, how then do we remember anything about the number? In the first instance, the information memorized must be transferred into a mental representation, an image in your mind. The information about the mental representation is called encoding. because the actual object is represented by memory code. Information about the external world reaches our senses as physical and chemical stimulation. When this information is encoded, it is converted into psychological formats that can be mentally represented. This mental conversion is usually done through the use of visual, acoustic, semantic, and motor coding. In our example, the numbers are represented in our visual memory code as some visual image, words, or pictures. Acoustic coding uses the sound of the words to encode the material, while semantic coding represents the information in memory in terms of meaning. Though it is not usually thought of as one of the major types of coding, motor encoding still has a role to play. It involves learning and remembering physical skills. For example, swimming is easy once you master the skills involved. But to describe the skills to someone who does not swim will not be easy. This is because specific skills which involve muscular movement cannot be easily verbalized due to motor coding. Once mental image or picture of the number is encoded, it must be placed in storage for future usage. Storage is the second stage of memory. It refers to the retention of memorized material or information over a period of time. In other words, retention is the act of maintaining information over time. This can be achieved through rehearsal. Retrieval is the process by which previously encoded, stored memories are brought back for current use. It also involves locating the stored information and returning it to consciousness. A particular cue, like number 202, 523 to 3598, for example, can cause you to retrieve information that you had previously encoded and stored. One way to think of these basic memory processing terms of information processing theory is to see human memory processing as analogous to the operation of a computer. Information enters through the senses, that is keyboard. This information is stored somewhere in the brain, that is hard or floppy disk, and it is retrieved, that is brought up on the monitor screen when needed. This process of encoding, storage, and retrieval will help us to understand the three systems of memory models: sensory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. Recognition, recall, and relearning. How are memories encoded, stored, and retrieved? What factors contribute to success and failure? The answer to these questions can only come through research, and three principal approaches account for much of that research. Recognition. Recognition refers to the ability to identify something you have seen before. For example, every time you take a multiple choice exam, you are undergoing a test of recognition. Recall. Recall means that you are asked to remember something you have previously learned without presently seeing the word or material. In recognition task, you see the word and simply have to remember that you have seen it before. The recall task provides no such cues, while relearning means that you will study the material or information to be learned and learn it again. A familiar example of relearning, also called the method of saving, is studying for final exam. Assuming you have studied the course material throughout the semester, it should take you much less time to relearn the material in preparing for your finals. Study session summary. This study session has focused on the origins and the processes involved in the human memory. We discussed some theories of memory evolution, what memory is all about, and the significance of encoding, storage and retrieval, as well as recognition, recall, and relearning to the human memory. End of study session 6. Thank you for listening.